All right, perfect. Well, welcome everybody. So we are so excited that you guys are on here tonight. This is a little opportunity where you get to learn all about the power of peptides. Hey, Beth. Beth, do you want to share with us really quick as we're getting started tonight? Do you want to hop on and just share a little bit about what EllieMD is and why we're so passionate about offering these peptides? We normally have our CEO and founder of EllieMD, Honey Sagari, on here with us, which is how Beth found out about this amazing company and being able to offer these peptides to more people and get the information out. But Honey is actually stuck on an airplane, literally on a runway, on an airplane in California right now. And so she texted and was like, I'm not going to make the Zoom. So, Beth, do you want to just kind of just share a little bit about the peptides and LEMD, and then we'll get started? Oh, you're muted.
She's
Oh, you're still muted, Beth.
There we go. I'm
Hey, there she is.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for having me on. And to me, when I happened upon LEMD, it was because I had tried just about everything to get rid of the inflammation that came on during the beautiful big M menopause, and hired every trainer in the book, tried every diet. I think Blair was probably like, oh, who are you hiring this week? Nutritional supplements. I even was hypnotized. I mean, tried to heal the subconscious for it, and my body was not cooperating. It was just holding on to inflammation. I had gained 45 pounds from the time COVID started to 2022 when I started on the GLP-1. And a friend of mine had said, I've found something that really, really works, and it's regenerative. It's a peptide. Do you know what peptides do? And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do one of those weight loss injections. That sounds really scary. Well, then when I started to dive in and research that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's a branch chain of amino acids, and it's signaling all the different parts of my body to tell me to like cooperate. And I thought, well, that's a miracle, because I just want to get back to the metabolic place that I was in my 30s. And that's exactly what happened. I like refound my faith in my body. I started to heal. I healed from the time I was probably 12 years old. I had a dysfunctional, disordered relationship with food, whether it was not eating enough or binge eating, and the constant thought, and it's an addiction, the constant thought of, okay, tomorrow's the day, and just a waste of brain space. And when I started my GLP-1 journey, it was like all of a sudden it was quiet. The chaos was gone. And I mean, every word we say, our cells hear. And I started to be like, my body's a miracle. It's healing. I'm releasing this weight. And with the weight, I released the stories and the narratives. And then I was like, how good can it get? And I started to dive into the world of peptides and healing and regeneration. My sister had a really, really, really hard and tough cancer diagnosis. I watched Blair go through her cancer journey, and through her work with peptides and healing and all the modalities, I watched her thrive on the other side of cancer. And I thought, I have one chance with this body and one chance with this life to do it the right way. And I'm going to dive in and research. So I happened upon LEMD because I thought, I cannot keep this story to myself. I cannot tell people any longer that a vitamin is helping me to lose weight, because that's not the truth. I needed to share the truth. And I didn't even know, I was like, maybe I'll have an affiliate link, but I'm here to tell my story. I posted about this, and LEMD I was connected with EllieMD and Honey Sagari. And you guys, as an entrepreneur, my husband and I have owned multiple businesses, and I come from the affiliate plus network marketing space. I was like texting Blair saying, I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. And she's like, I'll get back to you. I'm in the car with all these boys. I'm like, no, this is really important. I almost sent Ryan a text to be like, can you tell your wife to like pay attention? And what I loved about Honey and I love about this business is the focus is on longevity. The focus is on mind, body, and spirit and faith in healing our bodies, not on the backside of disease. So longevity being the big umbrella. And then what we do is weight loss is the biggest lever. What happens when we start to lose weight? Well, our cholesterol goes down. We start to see beautiful things happen in our blood work. And then on top of that, how do we heal our hormones? That's coming with diagnostics and hormone health. It's a whole nother part of my story. And then also longevity peptides. NAD, we're launching glutathione. That's the perfect peptide stack. And then there's also another lever, which I think the couples might talk about tonight, sexual health. And so I feel like there wasn't a question. I wanted to be a part of sharing this message. The business side that is like incredible, that was not even on the front burner. It's like, how do I share this message and how do I get to share this with more people and not have to be Leanne and Blair are complete experts. I point. I'm like, I don't know. This is where I was. This is what I found out. And I'm going to point you to the website and to a team of doctors and to an incredible high quality FDA approved pharmacy. And we're going to get you started on your journey. So it's what we have done as a team since July 29th is mind blowing. And what we're doing as a company in our first 6 months, so many lives and bringing people the information and getting them back to their health. So thank you for having me on. I can't wait for you guys to hear from these four amazing humans that are on here tonight that I just I watch all of what they're doing and I've learned so much. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Blair.
Thanks, Beth. Well, I'm excited. So you guys are going to hear a lot tonight about peptides, about longevity. Yes, we'll talk a little bit about sexual health, weight management, all the things, right? But what I want you to know is that we're going to be touching on a lot of different things because I'm going to want Leanne and Sean to share what they're doing and how it's working for them, why they got into it. And then Ryan and I are going to share the things that are working for us as well. But you're not going to get deep dive into each one of these peptides tonight. So what you're going to want to do is at the end of this Zoom tonight, you're going to want to ask for the link from the person who invited you so that you can go onto the website and read a little bit more about each one of these peptides and see which one's right for you with what you have going on. So I'm so excited to introduce our very first couple, Leanne and Sean Dunson. One of my favorite things about them is that they're actually grandparents and they're so much fun. They're so actively involved with their family. They do a lot of stuff together, which I love. There's like a really cool couple to watch on social media. But they both are all about longevity and vitality. And it's not just about losing weight, it's about being healthy and being able to really enjoy your life to the fullest way possible. And you guys, they're 52 years old. Like, look how gorgeous this couple is. Like, unbelievable. Every time Leanne tells me how old she is, I'm always shocked. And I always want to make her younger than her actual age because she is so beautiful. And so are you, Sean. I just love it. Makes me so excited because we're all aging backwards, which is so exciting. So I'm going to let them go ahead and share. Leanne, I'm going to throw it over to you. And by the way, I'm just going to give a huge shout out to Leanne. I had been following her social media for a while. She helps so many women with not only their hormones, but their health during menopause. You definitely want to go follow Leanne on Instagram. Her social media is amazing, but she has helped me so much. And so when I first reached out to her about EllieMD just to see if she had knew about this company, she was already impacting and helping so many people. So I am so thankful that you said yes to this journey and that you joined us. And I can't wait for everybody to hear your story.
Thank you. And you reversed our age too. So 55. So we're
Oh, see? I thought you guys were 52 for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, all good. I'll take that. I'll take the 52.
Well, I would have picked like early 40s anyways, if I was going to just pick an age.
Well, thank you. Yes. So Sean and I laughed because I was showing Blair this before everyone got on, but this is right here. This is our anti-aging longevity. This is how we're chasing 3 grandkids, and we have one that's due any minute now. So is our little bag of peptides, which has made the biggest difference in Sean and I's life on our health. So about a year ago, I dealt with a severe mold toxicity that totally put me down. Like where Sean said, he looked at me and he had to cry to me. He said, I feel like I'm losing my best friend. And it hit me really, really hard. Like I could barely get out of bed, coming from someone who was very vibrant and then dealing with this. So the one thing that really helped me, how I really started getting more into using peptides, was about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2
Yeah.
years ago.
Was actually the first thing I started using was glutathione, and to really help me with my mold toxicity and to detoxify my body and to help my liver. So that was the first peptide that I got into and started using. And then when the whole Ozempic came out and the media was all talking about Ozempic, I have a business called Snatch Back Your Sexy. And so in my business, I help women snatch back their sexy in midlife. And we do that through nutrition, through hormone therapy, and through working out. And we just look at the whole body. And one of the things that I had a lot of women that were coming to me, they're like, hey, so what do you think if I, use Ozempic? And so I started doing the research because I saw a lot on media, but we were hearing all these kind of crazy things. So I have a doctor that works with me and with my hormones, and I asked him, hey, what do you think? And he was like, hey, we can just do this in a low dose. So I started using this with clients about 2 years ago. And I started watching all these women who came to me that were doing all the things and they weren't getting results. And I started watching their check-ins, and it changed their confidence because all of a sudden they started seeing movement. And they, were dropping sizes, which we concentrate in Snatch Back Your Sexy. We concentrate on body composition. So it's not so much the weight we're really losing for fat loss, for visceral fats especially. And so they started like dropping sizes, and then all of a sudden, then we started seeing these other things I did not expect. I only looked at it to help people for weight loss. And then we started seeing things as if like people inflammation, people that had RA, they were having IBS, Hashimoto's. All of these women were starting to notice like those symptoms that they were having with that, and then their blood markers, which don't lie, changing. So that made me like, I see all this happening with these women. I've got all this stuff with the mold and dealing with some stuff, especially insulin resistance, undiagnosed PCOS, all this. And I'm like, why don't I try it? So I decided to put all like the fear, because I was scared I would lose my appetite. I would not be able to get protein, and I would not be able to work out and gain muscle like I wanted. But I had the exact opposite. I never felt better. I had dealt with anxiety since probably you've known me. Like anxiety
She actually fainted at our wedding.
I said I do and fainted.
No, you right before I did.
That's why I said
It's actually Eileen, take D, Sean, take D. She's out.
So I dealt with that anxiety. Like it's really like it affected our whole marriage. Yeah. I mean, like I didn't want to put myself in situations certain times. It really caused a lot of issues, because Sean really loves to be out there and is outgoing, what's going on. But it affected that even sometimes in restaurants, I would have anxiety attacks, so we would have to leave places. So it really affected us a lot. And the one thing that I started noticing too was the big thing, the anxiety. All of a sudden we went to go eat. Remember the first time, and we sat there, and I go, this is the first time that I feel like balanced. And that was just taking a microdose of semaglutide at that time. And what I really never realized, I had been dealing with insulin resistance. I mean, my whole life, like they said, you have hypoglycemia, all that back and forth, and then go to hypo and hypothyroidism and all this kind of stuff. So I was always dealing with certain things that made me feel a little off. And this just like settled in and balanced everything out, and the anxiety and the inflammation and all of that. So that went on, and then we decided, I was only doing that. Sean still was like, not for sure.
That's because of the stigma.
Yeah. He wasn't for sure. And then, but then we decided to do Samorlin. So we did Samorlin together. We did that for 90 days. And that was his first part of getting into peptides. So we had an amazing experience with that, with really focusing. We saw muscle growth. I mean, changed the way that we felt. Sleep was really amazing with that. And then Sean can tell you. So Sean started then seeing all the results with me. And then he started asking the questions, and he was like, what do you think about me trying that? And so you can tell him. So he started taking semaglutide.
Yeah.
And-
Basically, you know what? I always like to tell people that God has blessed me with a lot of favor, introduced me to her 34 years ago, because it's like having an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to health and wellness and staying right. Because everyone always asks, how do we, stay in such good shape and stay healthy? I always credit it to, my wife, because she's an expert in all of those things. But yeah, but like she said, we've been married. Well, we're going to be celebrating 33 years next year. And thank you. And so for 30 of those years, she's been like my go-to to tell me, don't eat this, don't drink that, don't do this. And as I don't know if you're aware, when you're married, you don't put the same weight on your spouse's advice as you do a stranger. And so there was just a lot of that. So even with her program, she's doing stuff that's kind of like osmosis, just hearing the stuff and kind of learning it, and then just kind of studying on my own. So when it came to peptides and all those type of things, again, the stigma to it as far as Ozempic and things like that, I was kind of hesitant. But as like I said, she's been doing it with her clients for a while, even before it became like the big thing. And so she was seeing all the results, and like she mentioned a second ago, I kind of started getting curious about how it could affect me. So I have a family history of colitis as well as high blood pressure. And then just typically as African American, we just have different health issues that other races and nationalities don't have. So it's always been pretty much my whole, at least adult life, a roller coaster of just different issues, not just physical issues, but also internal and blood pressure type of things. And so even though she's giving me all the things, it's kind of like a yo-yo. We go on these supplements, whatever the hot thing of the time is, and it would work for a while, and then placebo. It's really mainly placebo type of things. And so once this peptide starts coming out, then it's something that's more backed by science and it's real. It's not a fad or a formulation that some, MLM or something like that just came up with. And so that kind of really got me really intrigued. And so, as she mentioned, started taking the Samoralin, some other peptides and stuff like that. And then my blood pressure started going down, my inflammation, because one of the symptoms of colitis is inflammation. So I can look thin and lean, but then love handles, belly, and things like that. And so, and it was, like I said, it's a roller coaster. Then I started on the semaglutide, just microdosing it. And then just instantly the inflammation went down. It stays down. Actually, if you see I'm not shooting the finger, but but I got in the middle of a dog fight last week. There's a reason I'm bringing this story up is because it's the most pain I've ever dealt with in my entire life. I know it's just a finger, but I almost lost a finger. The most pain I've ever been in. Went to the emergency room, urgent care last week. But I was such a pain, I forgot to take my blood pressure medicine. And as you know, white coat syndrome, when you go into a doctor's office, is real. Even when I'm on my blood pressure medicine, just the fact of seeing the fluorescent lights, the doctor walk in, it was always like, hey, what's going on? Your blood pressure is pretty high. This is even with taking the blood pressure medicine. Went in the other day to get my finger looked at, forgot to take my blood pressure medicine. It was perfect. My blood pressure was perfect. Well, even without
that was
blood
the
pressure
first
medicine.
time we had ever taken it since he's been on it.
First time I did the reading since I've been on
some his blood pressure is like scary blood pressure, like where I have to like, if we went into like a doctor like that, they're like looking like, I don't know how you are surviving like this. Yeah. So it's a scary one. So that's why he's taking, like when I say it's micro, like he's taking a very small amount, but it's also benefited him. Well, the way he told me last night was the first time he told me.
Actually a few different ways, but I guess that's probably gonna be later in the conversation. But the one she's talking about, go ahead, tell her.
So Sean likes to have, he comes over and he does real estate and he loves margaritas. Like he likes a margarita. I say his margarita is more like 2 margaritas because the pour is a little too
it's a little heavy pour.
It's a little heavy pour. Like everyone knows, if you come to my house and you have Sean's margaritas, we're probably gonna drive you home. But but that's the thing. So he always has his margarita at night. That's like his thing. After he's done working, he has his drink.
And obviously it's not healthy, you know, to
Yeah.
have that every night, but I just love it so much.
It's his thing. Like,
It's my
so
thing.
he said to me, he goes, have you been noticing that I'm drinking my margaritas like I drink coffee? Because I always make fun. I'm like, why do you get coffee? You only take 2 sips of it. Like, it's a
No.
waste. Like, why do you always get it? He never drinks it. So he's like, I'm drinking like that. And I noticed that I did see like his glass that he would leave like in his like studio where he goes in his like man cave area. And it was always like sitting there still, like he barely drank it. And so he said, he goes, I can barely, he goes, yeah, I don't feel like drinking anymore.
Which is good because obviously that contributes to inflammation as well.
And blood pressure,
sleep, you know,
yeah.
blood pressure and sleep disruptions and things like that, which obviously can result in inflammation as well. But the other thing too is, she mentioned too, I have for 50, well, what are we, 55? At least 48 years had a Taco Bell addiction. I mean, so much so that literally I fit it into my macros, even though it's full of garbage. It's still like, if I can fit it in my macros, it'll work. And then got on some semaglutide. I mean, if you see my Taco Bell app, it's embarrassing. I mean, there's so many
He
points.
has so many points.
I mean, so many points.
Like...
I basically get free food almost every other day for so many points. But since I've been on semaglutide, you know,
he has not had any Taco Bell.
I haven't had a Taco Bell. And then we met and married in 1992. And well, I don't know if we're there yet. Are we talking about the sexual health part yet?
Go for it. You can go for it.
Well,
I want to see Leanne
we're
blush.
all adults here, right? So sexy time is like 1992 again. Let's just put it like that.
You have to remember like company's called. It's called Snatch Back Your Sexy.
Just
we talk a lot about
so we snatched it back to 92. That's what we did. Woo woo.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we waited all these years. Now at least that our kids are all older, we're like, we look at each other, we're like, is this really like I think it's actually, I would say it is way better than 92. A lot better than 92. We have.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing in 92.
Well, you thought you did.
We didn't have experience. Okay, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so
awesome.
that changed our whole, like, the thing with our marriage too, because we got to connect again. And now it's like, we're not done. We feel like we're just starting in life. Like our kids, we've done that whole thing with our kids. And now like, it's just with us, like we're just starting. That's how we feel. We're just starting. And this is giving us that leg up to, to feel vibrant, to, reverse, as we can say, or stop aging process to go as fast. Like we watched our parents age in a way where they didn't do any of this stuff. They weren't willing, to try these new things. And so Sean especially has watched his family go through all this without, suffering from this. And that's one thing that we said, we're like, whether we're going to spend our money on this. I told him, I said, I don't need any designer stuff or anything. Just buy me designer peptides. That's all I want.
Oh my gosh, I love that you said that because I say that all the time. I'm like, I like all that money we spent on jewelry and handbags and heels. I would sell all of it to be on these peptides. And that's all I want, right? All I want for Christmas are to make sure I get my peptides every month. So I love that. So really quick, Ryan and I are going to share too, but I would love for you to share, Leanne. So what made you decide, because you obviously were already sharing this with people, what made you decide to partner with EllieMD?
Yeah, it was our Zoom call that we did with Honey. And it was listening to her and her vision of what she wanted for this company and to be able to reach the masses, but also the focus was always on longevity. And that's my focus. My whole focus, yes, I mean, we need for longevity, there needs to be that weight loss part and all that. I mean, can totally change someone's life. But I love the part of the longevity and really changing, I call it the sick care back to really, to healthcare. And I feel that we are coming together with this message that we're able to reach the masses doing that. Instead of just like when I was just with my before when I just used my doctor telephone. There was only so many people that we could reach with that he could handle. And now we're able to talk, like I'm able in social media to talk to, one of my things are 2 million people, and I can help those 2 million people. And before I would have to say, I can't help you. And then you can't refer people out to because you don't know who to trust anymore. But we know where we're sending people. We know people are getting high quality peptides. They are getting care. And then they have, us too, and a community to support them. And most people, I've seen people, and we talk to people all the time. They're coming to me all the time. They're like, they've bought things other places and they're not getting any support. They have no idea what they're doing. And they said, I don't even know what I'm doing. And so they don't know. So I believe with Ellie, like Honey's big thing was to educate. And that's what we're doing. We're educating people. So people become their own advocates. And that's what my vision always is to teach people to be their own advocates. And that's what we have here.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. Thanks, Sean. Thanks,
You're
Leanne. You guys
welcome.
are amazing. Hope we get to hang out with you guys soon. And I know our CEO and founder, Honey Sagari, actually just hopped on. Are you like literally just coming out of the airport, Honey?
Well, no, I'm still at the airport.
Oh my
I
gosh.
found the nearest lounge and I popped into one of the booths and I'm
Well,
like, let me say hello to
yes,
everyone.
thank you. Do you want to just share
Oh,
really quick? So Beth introed us tonight, but I would love if you shared this a little bit just about your vision about why you created EllieMD, and you missed Leanne and Sean. They were amazing. And then Ryan, I will share after you share a little bit about why you created EllieMD.
well, I caught the tail end of what Leanne said, and everything she said is so spot on. It's about shifting the paradigm of sick care to healthcare, providing holistic healthcare to the masses, things that were only available and offered to the select few. Why not? Why can't it be accessible to as many people as possible? I mean, the peptide community cult is real, guys. Okay. There's a whole cult out there. Leanne knows about them. And they're able to heal their bodies. I mean, Blair, you've been doing peptides for so long. And Leanne, I know you've helped thousands and thousands of people heal their bodies through peptides. So my mission is to now make that accessible to everybody else who deserves to heal their body. People like my own mother who just suffered in pain silently post chemotherapy. Why shouldn't she have access to the same type of therapeutics as the people that go and do the research? Let us do the research. Let us build the trust with you, and you can trust us to help you. And we're working with phenomenal pharmacies that are nationally accredited. They're buying their raw materials and their peptides from FDA approved suppliers. And so you can rest assured that these are quality pharmaceuticals that you're getting in your hands. And I'm excited to spread the message and the healing. Tis the season, right? To spread the joy and love. So here we are spreading healing to as many people as possible. And it's only the beginning. I think we touched on today, we announced that glutathione will be released. Well, here's another tool that's in your hands, right? We started with the GLP-1's big lever that you're going to pull to help bring your weight down. Now it's about fine-tuning the levers, reducing inflammation. You reduce the inflammation, you reduce inflammaging, right? Inflammaging is really the process that ages the body. So that's it. That's what we're here to do. Spread the healing to as many people as possible. And slowly, little by little, through these communities that we build and our community starts to grow, we can really shift healthcare from what it is today. So I'm excited to be
Well,
on this
thank you
this
so
mission with
much.
all you guys.
Thanks for creating this amazing opportunity, but also for hopping on tonight. We
Oh,
appreciate you.
you're so welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
and I
you.
want to honor everybody's time. I know we've already been talking for so long, but Brian and I definitely want to share. I'll share with you guys really quick. So my journey began back in 2020, 2021. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, went through 6 rounds of chemotherapy, lost my hair, the whole thing. And during that time, I decided to really learn about longevity and preventative health because I had a cancer gene that my dad had, my aunt had, which therefore meant my boys had a 50% chance of having, and teenage boys are not going to watch what they're eating, exercise, and do all the perfect things, right? And so I really started to research and learn. And during that time, peptides kept coming up a ton. And I was learning about peptides. So as soon as I got the okay from my oncologist to start working with a functional doctor, I started to do that. And we started first with glutathione, which I'm so glad we're going to have starting next week, to detox my body post-cancer. And again, I was also immediately thrown into menopause, which any of you guys that are on here in perimenopause or menopause, you get it. Your whole body goes crazy and your mind too. And so during that time of being right out of that chemo and going right into menopause and playing around with like, what can I do next? And we started with the glutathione and then we went to NAD, which is an amazing peptide for anti-aging. And I noticed that pretty much all of my menopause symptoms went away, but also this crazy pain and discomfort that I had in my body post-cancer as well went away. And then, but I was still gaining weight and my cholesterol was still increasing like crazy. And I was doing all the right things, plant-based, exercising every day. I was taking care of my lymphatic system, my nervous system, like doing way more than the average person. So to gain weight during that time was very frustrating. I also felt like I was very puffy. A lot of you guys might be able to understand that. And so I started on semaglutide, which is a GLP-1. That was the first one that my functional doctor recommended. And I got started on that and I couldn't believe how great I felt. And within 6 months, I had lost 33 pounds, but I felt better and I wanted to eat better and I wanted to actually go exercise, which was crazy because it's not actually something I enjoy, unlike Ryan. And I just could not believe the health benefits. And so since then, since losing that 33 pounds, I've continued to microdose because I feel so good on the product and all the other health benefits. I have the blood work to prove it every 4 months. I get my cancer markers taken care of and looked at, as well as my whole body. And I can tell you guys the inflammation levels, it's unbelievable how they go down when you're on these products. And I have the proof of that. So after Ryan watched me on these products for the last, year and a half or so, he decided, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, I would like to try this too. So I'll let you share.
I mean, it's very similar story, but I work out a lot, eating what I want, eat clean, let's say 85% of the time, still have my weekend pizza, was, 185 to 190, no matter what I did, no matter what trainer I used, what workout program, even like if I did a juice fast, if I did any of those type, the 18-hour, fasting, or sorry, 36-hour fasting program, I tried that. You name it, I tried it. And I could always get down to like 180, 181. But then as soon as I would go back, it would come back like within, 4 or 5 days, like almost instantly would come back. So now that we started on this program, I'm now down to 175 to 178. And I can't tell you like the psychological difference. I didn't know, that one number could make such a big difference in my self-confidence. But when that scale was, 1.8 something, I was like, okay. But as soon as I saw that 1.7, I was like all in, man. I couldn't believe it. So seeing the benefits, and the only thing that I changed was the products.
Yeah, which is pretty incredible. And also to watch you, like, because you've had some back issues as an
Oh gosh.
ex-athlete and some
What do you
issues.
mean ex-athlete?
Okay, sorry, still an
Whoa.
athlete.
Whoa.
I guess once you're an athlete, you're always an
Oh,
athlete. Okay, I got you.
Sean, give me right. I mean, come on, dude.
So you've had issues with that. So
Yes.
it's been incredible. That was actually why we decided to first start you on the peptides. I'm like, if it's helping me this much and it took away that pain, like let's see if it could help you. And that was kind of how we first started. And
Yes.
so what are you on now? You're on NAD, we're microdosing GLP-1, and Simorelin and glutathione, which we usually don't mention because we don't have, but we'll have glutathione starting next week. Which is so exciting. So we're on all of those. Leanne and Sean, you guys tell us everything that you're on that they can get through EllieMD, because I know you're also doing hormones.
Well, I'm actually on the exact same thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're on the same stack.
yes.
B12 also.
Yeah.
So NAD, B12, semaglutide,
We finished our
glutathione,
Simorelin. Wait, what else are you on? Oh, and then hormones.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So we take, like I said, here's our bag.
I think that's so good.
This is how they look so amazing, right?
Yeah.
He grabs out, he's like, what's in the bag? Like, is there anything in the bag that I might want to take in there?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it started off. I was just kind of siphoning her stuff, and then it's like, this stuff actually works. Get my own.
I always know he's serious when he goes and orders his own
Well,
stuff.
she knows I'm serious when I'm injecting myself.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's impressive. Yeah, why don't you talk about that really quick? Talk
Yes.
about the
So
injection.
Sean is one I had to trick him to ever even get his blood drawn one time because I didn't want to have to get because we need to find out
30
what our
years
blood
ago.
type. Yes. He would not get his blood drawn. But
Yes.
he's been always one that he's like, no, I don't want it. It's a
Yeah.
shot, it's a needle or anything like that. He would not have anything to do with it. So I've always given him I gave him his testosterone when he was doing it. And then when he became with the semaglutide and the NAD, I'm like, you're gonna need to you need to man up and do this yourself. I'm like running because he would like, here, you need to do this. I'm like, I'm off, and with clients and stuff like that. So he finally one day he's like, all right, just
I ain't got time for all that. Let me just
no, he
just
said,
do it.
he goes, he just stand right there while I'm doing it. And he would like gonna go like, just do it, just do it. And I've done that with clients like FaceTime and as they're gonna do it. And he went and he was like, wait, this doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tried to tell you it wasn't gonna hurt. And he does it every week by himself. And that is a huge deal for him to do it. But he is most consistent. He's better than me. He does not forget. He's very consistent because he
Well, 'cause
loves
I
the
love
way
the way
that
it makes me
feels.
feel, the way it makes me
That's
look,
how we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. All right, you got inspired, hopefully, Ryan, to do his own injections. I'm gonna make him try.
Come on, Ryan, you can do it. You can do it.
it's not a matter of can I do it. They're just all laid out and then, gentle
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
So-
So yeah, we also have our 18-year-old son on a few of them too. So it's funny because I line everybody up.
I
But
just want to mention one
Yeah.
thing about the biggest change that I saw is that if any married couples can know, for Blair, she was always gorgeous to me, hot, sexy, no matter what I said. I think she felt it, I showed it. But the only person it really mattered, is when she looked in the mirror, how does she feel about herself? So all of a sudden I could just see this, not to get sexual, but now before she would never undress in front of me. I'd have to creepy,
Yeah.
lurk. Now I get at least 5 to 7 seconds before she says, stop staring, that's creepy. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm married to a supermodel. So just seeing that change, in her confidence and her attitude. She goes to yoga. First it was just yoga and no weights, but now she's getting into the muscle stuff. And it's an amazing journey we're on. So thank you, honey.
Yeah.
And Beth.
Yes. So there are so many amazing peptides. Did you want to say something, honey?
No, congratulations. Wow, you do have a hot wife. I know. I've cuddled with her.
Yes, or not really, because he knows I hate cuddling, so not really. But speaking of, you guys, there are so many peptides that we have. And so that's why I always tell people, you've got to go check out the website, get back with the person who invited you tonight, because we have our longevity, we have our sexual health, we have our weight management. And it's really exciting because there are even things that can help in that sexual health department. And if you are on here tonight, it's probably because you are noticing things in your health that you're not happy with right now, and you can change that. And we actually, one of my favorite things about this company, you guys can join us tomorrow night, is every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have an educational series because Honey really cares about educating people. Sometimes it's personal trainers like Leanne. Sometimes it's nutritionists, psychologists, doctors, holistic doctors. And tomorrow night, we have one of our favorite doctors that we've had before. And she'll be talking specifically about glutathione and NAD tomorrow night. But last week, we had somebody, a sexual health expert on, an intimacy expert, who specifically talked about PT-141, which is one of our amazing products that is for sexual health. So we can get you that recording as well. And here's the great thing. You simply go onto the website from whoever invited you tonight. You pick the product that you want, and the doctor goes through your medical history that you fill out. They decide if this peptide is right for you or not. Then it goes to a pharmacy that is FDA approved, 503, and your product gets made for you and gets shipped out directly to you. And then you get to take care of yourself in your own home, which is so nice. And it makes it so convenient for you. And you also have this amazing community like Leanne shared before. And like I was just talking about with our Thursday night, you have this community to support you, to cheer you on, to learn, to educate, and to grow in this space. And then there's an amazing opportunity where you can actually join us in the business as well if that's something you're interested in or want to get your own peptides paid for. We have an affiliate plus program where you can earn 20 to 40% commission based on your sales. And we also have the opportunity to grow a team, which if that's something that interests you, is an amazing opportunity. I always say, Sean, you'll get this because you're in real estate, but Ryan's also in real estate. And I always say it's no different than his real estate business, right? He's the owner, he's the broker, but he has a bunch of people that join him on his team, and he could not be as successful as he is today without his team, right? And they wouldn't be as successful if they didn't have him. And so they're all there as a community to help each other out. And yes, they all have a financial gain from it, and that's really exciting. So you have that opportunity here as well, and we'd love to share with you more about that. So if you were hopping on here tonight, get back with the person who invited you, ask them whatever questions you have. If they don't know the answer, they will get you the answer. And we're so thankful that you guys were here, and we can't wait to hear your story next about how great you feel. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, honey,
Thank
for
you.
hopping on. And Beth.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice seeing
Have a
you.
good night, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.